Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy James Kraze Billings, also known as Kraze, the King of Content. And I'm about to bring you back to a time in 1988. Some of y'all are watching and probably saying, why 1988? Well, 1988 was a pivotal year for albums coming out, but it was also a time where hip-hop needed some kind of structure. Black on black crime was so prevalent at that time. Two things happened in 1988. One, they had the Fresh Fest at the Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, and two, a black man got stabbed and killed over a gold chain. Well, that set off a chain of events. And the two chain of events that it set off directly was the Stop the Violence movement and the self-destruction video.
Today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience that's bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another.
Thanks to artists like KRS-One, Stethasonic, Just Ice, and Big Daddy Kane, and a whole host of others, the self-destruction and Stop the Violence movement was able to raise $100,000 toward black on black crime and donate it to the National Urban League. Here is a clip that's going to show you the importance of the Stop the Violence movement. But I can't take all the credit for the footage. I can only take credit for what I shot, which is a recent interview I did with the members of Stethasonic and asked them how important self-destruction and the Stop the Violence movement was 30 years later. Now that other rare footage that I got comes from Video Music Box and one of my mentors, Ralph McDaniels, and his partner Lionel Martin. Even though I would love to take credit for their footage, I cannot. I'm glad those brothers had the foresight to cover all the behind the scenes of the Stop the Violence video and movement and self-destruction movement. And we're gonna get into that right now. So take a look, leave me some comments, and tell me what you think. Peace.
So next thing I know, it just a whole bunch of people just crowded into the corridor, but nothing had happened yet. So they had, one guy had saw me with my gold on, so he reached for my bracelet, one of my bracelets, because my hand was on the railing. He grabbed one of my bracelets. So when I turned, I grabbed him. And once I grabbed him, a whole crowd rushed behind me. When I turned around to see the crowd, there were just bodies flying at me. So I just dug down. When I dug down, they just piled on top of me. And I didn't realize I was stabbed until until everything had, it was all over. But by this time, my bracelet was gone, 3 chains were gone, my gold watch was gone, and a friend of mine had got hit, and because he was trying to help me out. Next thing I know, a friend of mine tells me all of this blood is on my pants, and I turn around and I lift my shirt up and blood just starts gushing out. So I go to the first aid office. When I go into the first aid office, it's crowded, full of people that have been stabbed and cut, and, it's like, so it had to be like a little SWAT team going around, cutting people up, stabbing them up. That's crazy.
Pop, pop, pop when it's shot. Who's to blame? Headline, front page, and raps the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time. Stop the violence. Pop, pop, pop when it's shot. Who's to blame? Headline, front page, raps the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before its time. Now listen, when you speak about that particular subject of Stop the Violence movement, which was headed by Chris KRS-One from BDP, and I was real tight with.
You have Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Bronx, Staten Island, Long Island, Jersey in the house. They started bugging. What happened was this kid got killed over a gold chain. Out of all the many things that went on that night, that seemed to be the zenith of the ignorance. He died because of his gold chain, stabbed in the heart, I think it was.
On with this one. 1, 2, 3. The crew is called BDP. And if you want to go to the top, stop the violence in hip-hop. Why?
Now, the way that I want for Stethasonic to be remembered in the Stop the Violence movement, I want, not just for Stethasonic, but every other artist that was, on the record. You know what I'm saying? And not just the record, but the video, because you had guys like Big Daddy Kane showing support. He was in the video, Red Alert, Marley Marl, Tone Loc, You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of other artists that was showing support for the Stop the Violence movement. You know what I'm saying? And that record, it was something that had to be made because hip hop was getting a negative vibe and stuff. And I also have to commend the West Coast, for their version. We're all in the same gang.
And also the New York mentality of street life culture. I mean, the record really reflects the fact that people in New York went through their gangster stage. I mean, we don't have the gangs in New York in the late 80s, early 90s that they have in other parts of the country. For some reason, the chemistry here has not brought that about. And so we have a lot more consciousness, the whole Malcolm X movement, Afrocentricity, all of these positive things, understanding or appreciation of Islam as part of the continuity of religion, and that Christianity is not the only religion. All these different things that are going through black culture, you can see that are reflected in self-destruction. And I think that's one of the things that's going to be good about it in the long run, that it's a document of a certain mentality that was going on.
Scott LaRock was like the original founder of Boogie Down Productions, him along with Chris. And it was a real sad thing. It was a big loss. And he was kinda, coming there for me. That's one of the reasons why it happened. And I would never forget him. And I hope nobody out there ever forget him. As long as I make records, people will know who Scott, who he was.
Scott was down for that message also, It's just a shame he died under the same circumstances that self-destruction is trying to prevent.
After he passed, Chris didn't really want to get anyone else to DJ, so he basically put me in to do that job. So it was kind of bug how it happened.
I came down to do this for the best. This is my man KRS-One. Why he's KRS-One? Because there's only one KRS, boy.
But there is a couple of delights, and here's one of them.
That's right. Delight. Cool. That's right. And then they got Chicken Delight.
Mark, he's going to just do a few. You heard somebody else, and as soon as he comes in, you got to start to go off the camera. I'm going to start reading.
After I do, on the part where I say, come on, right? I say, come on, and start coming down this way.
It's like this.
Okay.
The camera's starting to go up, right?
All right, so then,
but you still do the same move. You still go here.
Yeah, I'll just clean up right here. Right. So we got to keep ourselves and something else just bang. Right.
You really got an insight into how PE works. Because Chuck had written out both their parts. Flavors as well as his. And even the way it would be phrased, it was amazing. And he cut his vocal without, and he even did like Flavor's part, and then Flavor came in and overdubbed.
One of the greatest projects I know I was glad to be a part of. The video shoot, Ralph McDaniels being a buddy of mine. That him and Lionel Martin directed the video. Good friends of all of ours in Stetsasonic. And it was a great project. We're proud of it. The record went platinum. So we we put a hole in it. Still got a lot of work to do. We hoping that some of the young cats get together with us and do a Stop the Violence too, because we need it. But it was a proud moment. It was a proud moment. It was a proud moment for us, and we're very proud of that project. I'm proud to be a part of that video.
With the self-destruction?
No, I don't think so. I think the self-destruction record was a product of somebody getting killed and people blaming it on hip-hop. Remember, I'm saying we don't really have fans. We just got a bunch of haters. So any way possible that they could make it look like we did something wrong, they would. And so now that concept of y'all not music, y'all a fad, all of that is fading in the background. Now we're getting played on the radio, and MTV is starting to accept running them a little bit and all of that. So now, and we got a secret weapon in the Beastie Boys, you know what I mean? Like, so now the violence thing comes up, and something violent happens, and so self-destruction is a call and response to, no, we didn't do it. Pop, 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 and shout, who's to blame? Headlines, and raps the name. Right. MC Delight here to state the bottom line, that black on black crime was here way before our time. It never is. We didn't do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the self-destruction record is. We didn't do it.
We as adult black Americans have a large problem because we are not role models in our homes. We are not heroes, and we need to become heroes.
The artist response was incredible. I was not at all, I didn't want to approach any mainstream R&B people because I knew what it would be. I got to talk to my manager, my booking agent, my record company's right from the image. The people in rap knew what it was about immediately. And the response was incredible. We had to keep people off the record in order to try and get it done. That was that kind of response. And that's why we're able to do a video like we're able to do this music video, because they got up early in the morning, which rappers are not known for. Were there to do the job and to make the statement they wanted to make.
I know we're in Harlem. Where? Harlem. Yeah, this is Harlem.
I figured at the time that we spoke up about this, from the artist's point of view.
And we just feel that one of the primary duties of a rapper in this day and age is to become a positive role model in the minds and in the hearts of the children, because a lot of these kids don't have positive role models to look up to. In most neighborhoods, the drug dealer is the role model. So, if we could continue to do projects like this, then we show them something to look forward to.
We're totally against black on black crime, I mean, it's so ridiculous in this day and time that our own brothers and sisters have got to pick up arms against one another. We're killing ourselves off, man. And this is a definite message to all the young people.
We strongly believe that, violence is nonsense. We got to get together as one. And if you look around, you see a whole lot of different type of rappers here getting together to prove that everybody can get together.
That's the first time this has really happened. Because, a lot of these brothers won't even speak to each other. You know what I'm saying? So the beauty of this is that regardless if we disagree on 99 things, we agree on one, that we need to come together.
We want to let the youth know that there are alternatives to crime in the community. There are alternatives to having disrespect for your brother and your sister. African Americans must come to the realization that if we do not help ourselves in this regard, we will be the greatest. We will bear the brunt of crime as it affects us.
When you speak about that, here you get a project that will inspire people to at least think about what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? The lyrics that was done through that whole song, you know what I'm saying, is something that people need to take notes to. Don't believe the hype about our community, you know what I'm saying, are nothing but, killing one another. I know that it goes on, you know what I'm saying, but there's a reason why it goes on, because we're not thinking, point blank. We're not thinking about being our brother's keeper. If you ask any person on the street, are you your brother's keeper? They're not going to say that. You know what I'm saying? So the camaraderie on that record was something that's unmatched.
Delight was really, again, who came to a lot of meetings, was very involved. His speech at the press conference was one of the best. Just quite good and quite dedicated to the idea. I was impressed with that a lot. Daddy-O as well.
This particular project here, self-destruction, is dealing with specifically black on black crime. Black on black crime, man, we only hurt ourselves. We make ourselves look like fools, and you got to stop the killing of each other, putting our bloods in the street. Black on black crime, stealing from each other. Like Kumo G said, is the saying that we got to run from another black man.
Like the guys that are stealing and robbing are not even looking at it as a black on black thing. They're just, going for theirs and like, I'm going to get as much jewelry or as much money as I can. And they're not looking at what they're doing to the race as a whole.
Basically, what this is simply saying is, of course, we're not trying to front. We're not telling the kids we made a record about self-destruction, so you should stop the violence. Nonsense. We're telling more the police officers and the industry that there's a more serious side to rap music than, yo man, blah, 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 talking about nothing. As you can see, everybody here is down for the cause, everybody here is rocking cereal.
I think Chris has been the most consistent person in hip hop and articulating a non-violent but realistic approach to dealing with these issues. I mean, Chris uses violent imagery, but it's very clear from his music, unlike a lot of other people who use violent imagery, this is a message, and the point, he uses violence to illustrate a point of information. He's very, very good at doing that. And, I mean, I don't think there would have been a record, Stop the Violence Movement or Self-Destruction without Chris's participation.
Ignorant brothers, trying to rock and steal from one another. We get caught in the mix. I can crush that stereotype. Here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you can unite and fight for what's right. Not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives. Rock our walk for the step to the brain. Headline, first page, rap, the main. Every reason right here to take the bottom line. The black on black crime is wait for time. The black would not that dark.
No, we have. He's the opening. He's the opening. I'm not gonna come out of the album.
Everyone, thank you very much. You all did fine. We just need to get some close-ups of D-Nice and Just Dice.
Okay. And of course, the rhyme, she talks, you know what she's doing.
So we're done. Thank you very much.
Live from New York. I don't care you in LA, I don't care you in Miami, I don't care you in Houston, I don't care you in Chicago, I don't care you in Detroit, I don't care you in Bangladesh. Wherever it goes, stop the violence. This is what I got to say.
MC Delight here to state the bottom line that black on black crime was here way before our time. It never. We didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the self-destruction record is. We didn't do it.
I guess what did it mean to you? Because like I was saying, alluded to earlier, all of us kind of always thought you was conscious.
For me, it meant a lot, but let me tell you what it really meant to me. I am a huge fan of hip hop. So you might hear me say Andre Nicotina. You might hear me say E40 and the Click. You might hear me say Ras Kass. You might hear me say Freestyle Fellowship, right? I'm a fan of hip hop, so it's not just the stuff that people know. And I'm just, so I'm just as much fan of Micah 9 as I am Big L. What self-destruction meant to me was, on record, it's one thing because it's a bunch of East Coast MCs. On video, it's another thing. If you look at that video, see me sitting next to Tone Loc in the video. It meant that we were beginning to be this national force. And that's always been very inviting to me because I felt like New York MCs were on their own. That's why I accepted Eazy-E, God bless the dead, so well. Because I was like, we're not on our own. That's why me and Luke are friends. You know what I mean? That's why me and Scarface are friends. Because I felt great to not be on my own. And then I have to hold this thing, by myself. So for me, it meant that we're finally expanding in some kind of, it wasn't international as it is now, but we're finally expanding in some national kind of way. And that's big news. That was big news to me.
So the camaraderie on that record was something that's unmatched. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of rappers coming from their groups or as a solo artist or whatever the case may be, just, coming together for a common cause. Much like how we did AFR, ICA, Angola, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Zambia, Mozambique, and Botswana. So let us speak about the motherland. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that type of record to go out there and touch people across the world as that record, Free South Africa did, because it became part of a school curriculum all across Africa. You know what I'm saying? And that was something that is always needed, because we got to keep those messages in order to stay within a sane mind. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody just bugging out right now. You know what I'm saying? So consciousness starts becoming very, very important.
A more intelligent look came about the rap industry. And personally, I believe that it's because of movements like Boogie Down Production, Stop the Violence Movement, Public Enemy, that has saved rap music, literally. If rap had gone on with its egotistical, sexist attitude, it would be dead right now. You'd be talking to Anthrax instead of Boogie Down Productions. But what happened was the consciousness of rap has been changed due to these movements. And people are really, whether it's a fad or true, people are looking to find themselves. And I think that's one of the biggest changes that jumped off, specifically coming out of the hand of the Stop the Violence movement specifically. It was a movement, it was a fad that it was intelligence as a fad. And fads are laws, period.
For the Stop the Violence movement, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that record, it was something that had to be made because, you know, hip hop was getting a negative vibe and stuff, you know. And I also have to commend the West Coast, you know, for their version. We're all in the same gang. I love that record. They got off on it and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? But, you know, what I would like for everybody to be remembered, not just Stetsasonic, you know what I'm saying, but everybody, just on having a positive vibe, giving off a positive vibe and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that not all hip-hop is negative, you know what I'm saying? You got positive hip-hop still, even till this day, you know what I'm saying? I got people coming up to me and stuff in the street and all this and that, and, you know, and they commend me and stuff like that, you know, and, you know, and I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that you know, that likes the record, stuff like that, you know. We got a lot of positive artists on the record and stuff like that, and it was good to work with every single one of them and stuff. So the way I would like for not just Stet to be remembered, but every other artist, you know, I just want them to be remembered, all of us, you know, just in a positive vibe.
Thank y'all for watching. My name is James Kraze Billings, also known as Kraze the King of Content, and that was a highlight on the self-destruction, Stop the Violence movement from 1988. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back with some more exclusive content. But until then, if you like what you see, make sure you leave me a comment, subscribe, follow. You know what it is. Kraze is out. Peace.